Hello, this is Bruno pelletier-bacquaert. So this is part two of our little moves with the minor chord. And here we're going to go the opposite direction. So instead of going down, we're going to go up. But not from the tonic of the chord, we are going to go up from the fifth of the chord. And that's what I usually think of as the James Bond move. You know, if I'm in a G minor, so it can go up and down, it can go back down, or we can keep going up. It can go as far as we want to all the way up to the tonic, but usually it goes up to the augmented fifth, to the sixth, and it can either go back down or continue up to the minor seventh. Usually not much more higher than that. So examples of songs that have that in the jazz repertoire. We got the James Bond, right? So that's not exactly jazz, but in jazz you're going to find that in this song. I'll remember April. So it starts with a G major, usually goes to G major 6 after that, so we have so that's major, and then it switches to minor. Okay, so what I have here is my G minor triad, and then the fifth is on top, and I'm raising that fifth to a sharp 5. Now I have the 6, and then it goes up to the minor 7. So that's a good example of that move. You're going to hear that move also in it's part of Crimea River. Oh, it's used in introductions a lot. So you can hear this as an intro. So Crimea River is goes to the minor 7 then. So it's an interesting move. So I have my G going to G sharp or A flat, and then A, and then B flat. So we hear this move against the melody, which is really nice. So this particular chord movement, I can do it either with 3 notes like this. So I have C, G, and E flat, and then I'm simply raising the G to a G sharp, then going to A, and then that would be a C minor 7. We could also keep a static G on top. Let's say I'm going to go back down. So that would be an intro. Right, so I can keep that G on top or just that. Okay, so now let's explore a few other ways to use the same device. So I was doing it as C minor. Okay, so here's C minor. So here's a generic C minor bar form. My fifth is here, the G. So all I have to do is keep the same chord and simply raise. Sometimes it gets stretchy. And it's going to get stretchy here. You're going to see that. Now, instead of going to this B flat, I can be smart and then find the B flat there, right? So I get the same sound. If I were doing it higher up, like say if I'm playing a G, because the frets are narrower here, so it's not as much of a stretch. So I'm playing this, I'm going to raise this, and I could go Down there with the C, not really. But hey, prove me wrong, you know. And I'm not gonna tear up a muscle right in front of the video. That would be embarrassing. No, I wouldn't publish that if I were doing that. But anyway, I'm not about to do that. Okay, so let's just find the different ways. So what key am I going to do that? Let's stay with with G, since I did all the examples in G minor last time. So if I'm looking at my G minor triad, so my fifth here is on top, I can raise this part. Okay, whether I'm using the G bass or not. Okay, if I'm using this form, now my fifth is right here on the third string. Okay, so here, if I wanted to keep the bass, I have a G bass here, but let's say, well, we could do this, right? And then go to that. What's important is to really visualize the minor triad, spot the fifth, and then simply go up. And then I would say retain as many notes as we can. Sometimes we need to let go of a certain note because our hand, have their limits. But as long as you keep that fifth moving up, you're good. And we saw this one. So this one, I have this form of the G minor triad. So my fifth is on this string. Okay, so I have this. I could do it without the. In fact, I could find the bass here that I was leaving there. That's something that we can do at times. Like if it gets a bit stretchy, you start a certain way. Let's say this way, and then if you think it's going to get too stretchy, change and then get this chord. That's an option. But again, if there is a bass player, if you play in a band when there's either a piano or somebody, or bass, a real bass player, then you don't have to worry about keeping the bottom, and you can just worry about moving your triad. So other forms of the G minor, I have this one. Now my D is going to be here, which, by the way, I didn't point out. This becomes an E flat major triad at this point, right? This would be an E diminished triad. So you can also look at your chords like that. You can break them down. So that's a G minor. This is the G minor here. So I can erase this. So either just the triad. Okay. And finally here, my fifth is on top. So sometimes if it's too thin, it's not going to be used as a accompaniment. So you want to, depending on the key of the minor chord that you're trying to make that little progression go, you'll choose one or another of those voicings. So something else I want to talk about is how you could add colors to that. So if I'm looking at this G minor here, well, what I'm going to do is replace my G with an A. So now, looking at this voicing, which sounds really nice. What's really nice here, we have a half step between the A and the B flat, respectively, the second and the third note of the chord, right? So it's a half step, so it sounds a little dissonant, and I can keep the G in the bass or not, right? So here, so if I have this form, now I'm going to move my fifth up, but you get those really nice sounding voicing. We can actually even reach for that G that's on top, or just simply keep the three notes that we had here. So let's use the same device in other places. So remember I'm looking at my G minor triad and I'm raising the G up to an A. So here's my G minor, here's the A, and what I'm doing now is raising the D up in half steps, right? And the next one was going to be this one. So here's my G minor triad. My G note is right here on the third string. So I have this grip. Again, this one also sounds nice because of that dissonance. And I have to raise my D. Okay, so we get some really interesting voicings that way. And of course, the same thing could be done there. I don't know if I'm going to play them all, but okay, let's just do it quickly. So here's my G minor triad. And this form is actually one of the simplest ones. So you could use that in, the song I was talking about a second ago, a few seconds ago, Cry Me a River. If I'm using this, right? So those are beautiful voicings. So that's my G minor with an A. Here's my G minor. Now the A, I'm going to find it here. Raise my D, okay. I was gonna get sidetracked, so let's not do that, because everything leads to another. So sometimes I'm thinking, oh yeah, there's this, oh yes, and there's that. So let's keep it simple. I don't want a half an hour long video. So here's my G minor. A is going to be here, and then my D is going to be there, raised. So I think you're getting the idea. So you find your G minor triad. You may put a bass below or not, but you find your G minor triad. You locate the fifth of the chord, and that fifth goes up chromatically. And that's the James Bond move, if you want to think of it that way. So the move up is the James Bond move. The move down, you can think of it as the Stairway to Heaven move. It's nice to have little names for those things. And then you have all kinds of things. And you'll find sometimes then that you can, depending on the song, you can plug that either one of these devices. And sometimes you can go up, sometimes it can go down, and it will work nicely. In this one song, for instance, where that happens, it's a Django. You I just call. Okay, so it's the part that would go. So it goes to E minor. So usually we'll go up, right? But we could have gone down. So down, and then continue that way. So when I got on my E minor, I had two options. Either I could make my move ascending, or I could make my move descending, right? And sometimes you'll find that unless the specific direction is part of the song, if you have your options, you can try one way or the other, and that way you're not harmonizing your music the same way all the time. So I hope you're having fun exploring these voicings, and stay in touch. Okay, bye.